What's up, everybody? Justin Fensterman back with you with another fantasy football stock watch here. Some of you clinched the playoffs. Congratulations. Some of you have at least one more week to go before the playoffs begin in your fantasy football leagues. Let's all clinch together. A family that sticks together wins together. That's what we do here on FantasyAlarm.com. Let's go over some players who are trending up and down when it comes to the latest and greatest in fantasy football. Let's start with players trending up. Cam Akers, about time. Starting to look like the balance of power is shifting when it comes to carries to favor Akers in the Rams' backfield. After running well in Week 12 versus San Francisco, and then he was fed 21 carries in Week 13. He's gone from being a statue on rosters, literally, to starting to flirt with RB2 territory. He's scored the last 3 weeks, and while it seems that Malcolm Brown will be getting a bit more love in the passing game, Akers seems to be ahead of Darrell Henderson on the depth chart when it comes to carries. He's received double-digit carries in 2 of his last 4 games. The Patriots are in a cakewalk when it comes to running on them, but this will be a good determining factor regarding where not only the Rams stand on their trusted Akers, but fantasy players as well. Would you start in Week 15 if he does it up Thursday? Let's find out. Probably not. Next up, Corey Davis. I never thought Davis would make this list, but after notching his 4th game of having over 100 receiving yards and the schedule he has coming up, Davis looks like he's set for a string of productive weeks. He has the Jaguars and then the Lions, and he should be able to take advantage of both matchups. He's the clear-cut number 2 wide receiver on the Titans, and he and A.J. Brown have almost the same amount of targets in this passing game. Brown will get the top shadow from opposing defenses, and this should allow Davis to feast a bit more. He's received at least 6 targets in 3 of his last 4 games, and he's coming off of an 11-reception game. Final player trending up, T.Y. Hilton. A lot like Davis, Hilton gets the bump because he has the Raiders and Texans upcoming on his schedule, and after scoring the last 2 weeks, he could be in line for more productive games moving forward. With Phillip Rivers limited by an injured foot, short passes should be coming Hilton's way. If he sticks to going 10 yards out, Rivers won't need as much time to get the ball out to him. While there are a decent amount of mouths to feed in the passing game for the Colts, the O-line hasn't been that great, and quick routes can benefit Hilton by giving him more looks. Now players trending down. Let's start with Miles Sanders. Since returning from injury, it has been one of the biggest points of confusion as to why Sanders isn't being given a ton of carries. He went from receiving 31 carries collectively between weeks 10 and 11 to 16 carries collectively between weeks 12 and 13, and it makes no sense whatsoever. The Eagles are having quarterback issues, right? Well, you'd think they would rely on Sanders a bit more until they figure out who should be starting at quarterback. But nope, the Eagles offense looks lost out there, and Jordan Howard is back and he's getting carries too. Sanders has a horrible matchup in week 14 against the Saints. He's hardly doing anything with his carries anyway in the last few weeks. He hasn't scored since week 5 and has 3 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he isn't using the passing game consistently. What gives with this guy? Does Doug Peterson just not know what he's doing? It's hurting Sanders' production. Doesn't even have a ceiling. Let's keep the Eagle bashing going, Travis Fulgham, because if going into your Week 14 matchup, you're thinking that Fulgham is anywhere close to being safe, we must not be playing in the same fantasy football universe. How the mighty have fallen with this guy. Fulgham has barely produced in the last 4 weeks. Once he hit his bye week, it was literally bye-bye in regards to any production ceiling, and now with the Eagles' QB fiasco and other players such as Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz being back into the mix, Fulgham appears to be the odd man out, and he's had balls bounce off his hands during this poor stretch. He hasn't had a game with more than 2 receptions since Week 8. Need I say more? Final player trending down, Jimmy Graham. The tight end position is so hard to trust that most of us have had to play the matchups this year. As appetizing as facing Houston is, he can't be trusted, Jimmy Graham. He's put up 2 zeros in his last 3 games, and those zeros came against Minnesota and Detroit. Cole Kmet is also starting to become a bit active in the passing game. He's really relying on touchdowns, Graham, and while he went through a stretch in which he was seeing 6+ targets per game, Graham's received 7 total targets in his last 3 games. 7! Between the zeros, in the soft matchups, and Kmet alone being more active, Graham can't be trusted even in what should be a good matchup. No to Jimmy Graham. That is what's going on in the fantasy football universe, everybody. Those players trending up, those players trending down, but it's all about your team still trending up. It's all about your teams getting that title opportunity, getting that ring. Stay focused. You never know when your depth can be taken away from you. One fell swoop, 1 week, that's all it takes. Stay in it to win it. That's what we do. Good luck.